Hey everyone, it's Katie, and I'm here with Erin Shagru. She is the principal. Oh, okay. Hey everyone, it's Katie, and I'm here with Erin Shagru. She is the principal of the Early Learning Center at Amy Beverland School in the Lawrence Township, and she's going to give us a little tour today. Tell us a real quick little thing about the Early Learning Centers in Lawrence Township.
We have 4 Early Learning Centers in Lawrence Township, 1 in each corner of the district. You go to your Early Learning Center based on where you live. The Early Learning Center, we have a preschool and kindergarten, and we house all the preschool and kindergarten for the entire district, with the exception of our Spanish immersion program, which is housed at Forest Glen Elementary. The Early Learning Center preschool has what we call a blended curriculum. We have 4 curricular influences. We are influenced by the schools of Reggio Emilia, Italy, by Montessori, by High Scope, and traditional preschool.
You guys, I have gotten to take a look around this place, and it is amazing. Amazing. It makes me kind of wish we lived in Lawrence Township. So if this is the area that your kids are going to go to school, you have got to check this out. You've got to arrange a tour or whatever you got to do. Come meet the teachers, come meet the kids, and see this. This facility was built specifically for the Early Learning Center. So we're going to take you around and show you a couple really cool places. And I want you to really notice everything going on. Notice how the kids are interacting with the environment around them and all the really cool things set up. Okay, we're going to peek in here this is the big playroom. The big playroom.
Yes, we call it like we see it. It is a room for play.
Lots of kids in there. They're running around. They're quiet now that we're in here.
Now, you can't have your voices, otherwise you can't hear the story. Ready?
In addition to the big playroom, there's also a really cool playground outside, and the kids have been out there today because it has warmed up. Erin was telling me that they block off the bus lane area, and there's a set of small tricycles that the kids play with. So there's a lot of activity for the kids to work on all of their skills here.
Yes. Okay, so I tagged Bradley. You on the book?
You tagged Landon.
Okay, I tagged Bradley and William second. You guys all passed. Alright, we'll play again. It's okay. Alright, you guys ready?
Kids are getting ready to run.
Okay. Make sure you
We'll
don't
take you to another exceptional place on this campus.
Listen. Tiptoe.
If we weren't wearing heels, we'd be doing that too, I promise
Absolutely.
Oh, so tell me about this space right here. We didn't actually see this one.
In addition to the big playroom, we also have studio spaces. So children in kindergarten visit the big playroom and studio every day. Children in preschool visit the studio several times during the week. They also have studios in their classrooms. So the purpose behind studios for children to be able to express themselves in multiple ways. We work with varying materials. Again, building relationships with materials is a huge part of what we do.
I love this. This is such a beautiful space.
Thank you.
Another studio I can't wait to show you. So we're going to take us out of here and check this out. Thank you. Welcome. So this is not a classroom. This is actually just a designated space as a studio.
Absolutely. When we built the Early Learning Centers over a decade ago, we specifically designed it with our curricular influences in mind. So the studios are really the heart of the school. That's where a lot of the magic happens.
I love this. And speaking of magic, we are in one of your hallways, which are truly magical on their own. You have a lot of different art here. Where does this art come from? Are you picking it up at IKEA?
Not at all. Our children are the artists. And so when we designed the Early Learning Centers, we wanted a very neutral palette for the backdrop. So as you can see, our wallpaper, our tile, everything is neutral because we wanted the walls to have the life and color coming from the children. And so their artwork, their images, their words are what fill our spaces and tell their story.
And you said a lot of these stories will come up, will stay up until something else replaces them.
Absolutely, that's worthy to go in their spot. So we have many pieces that have been designed from children of the past, if you will, their legacy that they've left for us. And it's really fun to see when they come back, either with younger siblings that are now coming to school or if they just come to visit. they see their work still represented, still telling their story even years later. So what we do is we leave things up until there is something worthy to go in its place. So it's kind of nice to have that sense of legacy.
I love that. So let's take a peek inside one of the classrooms.
Sure,
right
absolutely.
now.
This is one of our preschool rooms.
Now this is the Preschool of the Arts. Tell me what are all of the campuses that way?
Yes, all 4 early learning centers were designed exactly the same architecturally, but we all have the same philosophy. And Preschool of the Arts is really about the art of being a child.
I love this.
And so, as you can see, our spaces are designed again with lots of movement, lots of different types of materials, lots of different ways for them to explore and grow and think together. Obviously, that social emotional development is just as important as academic development, and so we want to give them lots of time to work together, to solve problems, to interact in a very natural way, and play is the work of the child. And so our program is play-based and hands-on, and they're always thinking, creating, and learning together.
Now, something you told me is that while we're only touring the Amy Beverland campus today, all 4 campuses are identical. They're all
identical.
built the same way.
Absolutely.
So they're going to
All
have
the
these
rooms are the same.
similar spaces, the hallways, the programming is the same.
Yes.
I love this. So we have been inside, I think it was 4 different classrooms today, and they're all doing completely different things and learning in different ways. And the kids, you can see, even in each classroom are doing different things. So over here, I noticed at the sensory table in this one, they have the Mr. Potato Head.
Absolutely.
We were in one where they had ice that they were melting. Then they had one where there was fake snow that they were playing with and building snowmen. And
yes.
This is really
and
cool.
again, look at how much fine motor work is happening here with having to pick up the small pieces and put them into certain places. And like with the snow that we saw earlier today, they were using scoopers that were shaped like scissors. So again, you can work on fine motor with pencil, paper, and do worksheets, or you can work on it through play and get a better result.
I love it. Let's check out this other studio space I was telling you guys about.
Absolutely. Here, I'll turn it on.
This caught my eye immediately, and this is something that is just such a beautiful space and such a neat space. So what is this studio called?
This is the Light and Shadow Studio, and our preschool team of teachers, I just worked with the most incredible educators, they decided that they wanted a space where children could explore. This is why things are live. Where they could explore things in a natural way. And so they worked hard to put this together. They asked children about the kinds of things that they could explore with light and shadow. We ordered materials. We found materials. All kinds of different things that we could do. And again, light and shadow is one of those things that we don't necessarily always think about as being an important concepts to study and delve into, but there's so much you can learn from light and shadow, and it goes right along with our foundations for early learning. So our science foundations talk about light and shadow, and it connects to our kindergarten standards as they move up in the grade levels. So it's perfect.
This is beautiful. One of my favorite spaces.
Thank you. We've worked hard to put it together. And the children just have a blast in here. It's always amazing the things that they think of that we would never think of. And that's the purpose of open-ended materials. You know, again, with our philosophy, it's not about telling children what to do with certain things. It's about them having the freedom to think and create and express themselves. So as you'll see down our hallways and in spaces like this, everything is very interactive and hands-on, and it invites children to ask questions and to investigate and have some curiosity about things.
All right, let's check out another hallway.
Okay. It's okay. As long as they're just going in the hallway.
Always an adventure.
You know, early childhood is an adventure. Every day.
Look at these hallways, you guys.
All interactive, and you know, you can find things anywhere. I mean, some things we have gotten from stores, we've ordered from different vendors, but you can also find things at a hardware store that you can turn into something. Get a piece of sheet metal and you can make that into a magnet board. We have found oil pans for like $3 that we've adhered to the wall and it becomes a magnetic surface. So there's lots of different things you can create with.
I mean, not only just like repurposing things, but reusing things. Let's show them some of that art. And
absolutely. Well, come right down here. So we know that children are natural collectors. A lot of times if you've got young children at home and you empty out their pockets, they'll have all kinds of goodies that you did not know that they thought were beautiful and wonderful. And so we invite children to use those materials in different ways. So, caps, and sometimes what we run into, we forget to get the caps back on markers. And so then you've got a bunch of dried out markers and a bunch of caps that don't go to anything. Well, we can use that in our artwork. These children, this is again a piece that has been up for quite some time because it's just magnificent. These children were doing a project on butterflies and they wanted a way to represent their learning, and so they chose to use found materials to do that. So we call them all kinds of different things. Beautiful stuff, loose parts, found materials. It all boils down to the idea of really listening and understanding that what may be beautiful to a child, we may not see it yet, but they are helping us see things in different ways. And it goes back to the concept of reusing, repurposing, and not just throwing away everything. We live in such a throwaway society sometimes that it's, something's broken, we just get a new one.
Right.
Well, this invites children to use that in a different way.
Yeah, think about
things differently.
If you guys have any questions, now is a great time to ask them. But there's also tours. They can come take a tour. You have some organized ones.
We do. Actually, at the Early Learning Centers, we do a tour at 9 a.m. every second Friday of the month. So we actually have one getting ready to come up this Friday. And what you do is you just call our main office to schedule a tour. If that time doesn't work for you, we're always willing to work with families to do a tour at another time that works for them.
But if you have any questions right now, feel free to drop them below. We'll have our camera guy throw them out to us. And we have Erin here. She's a great person to ask. She is the principal here at the Amy Beverland location of the Early Learning Centers in Lawrence Township. This was one of my favorite classrooms that we saw today. Can we peek in here again?
Absolutely.
Right. They don't know we're coming. So, oh good, they still have the fake snow.
Yes. They're still working with lots of different materials.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, can you guys show us how this works?
I'll just play.
Are you all done with it? Oh, you want to keep playing?
Oh, I wanted to touch that. Could you put some in my hand? I wondered how that felt. Is it cold?
Yeah.
Oh, it is cold. What are you guys building?
We'll build one of these.
It has beads in it. Oh, it has those aqua balls. Yeah. Aqua beads. I love it. I was surprised that it was cold. This did not feel how I expected it to feel. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah. What you expect.
I love this. And do you think that one classroom is still melting the ice?
They might be. This is right down here. We can go check and see.
In this classroom this one classroom we walked into this morning, they had a sensory table and it had this giant ice cube in it.
Yeah,
so I'm wondering the status of this ice cube. And not only that, but the teacher was helping a student and they were mixing their own Play-Doh right there in class. And all of this was going on at the same time. I have lots of kids and I don't feel like we can have so many projects going on, but they were doing a great, they are.
We were coming this summer to check to see if it had melted.
Is it melted? Oh, look at that. What was inside?
What did you find in there?
Goodness.
What did we have in there, guys? What did we find in the
jewels? Wow.
Yes, we found beads.
I love that. That was my favorite activity today.
Yeah.
Oh, very. And a green one? Wow. Look at that. And hammers? What did you do with the hammer?
What did you guys do with the hammer? Use the hammer to get the jewels out, right?
Oh, you got the jewels out of the ice. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing with us.
Thank you, friends.
I love this. So we've peeked inside, what was that, 4 different classes now today with you guys So if there's more that you want to see, you can come this Friday. You just set it up at the center. There's 4 locations, one in each quadrant of the township.
Yep, and you just need to call the main office of the Early Learning Center that would be your home school, and you can find that information online at ltschools.org. There is a school page for the ELCs, and that has all of our main office numbers listed.
Well, thank you so much for showing us around
Thank
your
you for
beautiful
coming.
school, Erin. And
I
thank
love
you
to show off my
guys.
school.
Thanks for joining in. Share this with a friend who lives in Washington Township.
Lawrence Township.
Share this with a friend who lives in Lawrence Township, and let them know that enrollment is open, and they should come tour this place. They can watch our tour, but come get their own experience here. And it's a wonderful place for kids. I'm pretty envious.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a great day, guys.
Thank you.